The Justice Department's Inspector General releasing his long-awaited report on Operation Fast and Furious this week, and it finds the Attorney General Eric Holder did not know about the botched gun tracking program that allows thousands of weapons to fall into the hands of Mexico's most violent drug cartel. Some of those weapons ended up at the scene of Border Agent Brian Terry's murder in 2010, and now his parents say this report is mostly an effort to keep the Attorney General from being blamed. Congressman Mica joins us. He is a member of the House, which held hearings on that report this week. And Congressman, thanks for being with us. This report, and I did thumb through a summary of it, it appears to say that Holder was never told about the gun running tactics, but when he did learn about it, he shut it down. So does that vindicate him?
Well, I don't think we actually know, and we're still trying to get documents. He declared executive privilege over 74,000 documents, which were not part of the Inspector General's review. So we will continue to pursue our contempt proceedings.
Let me
against
stop you there. Are you
Attorney
suggesting
General.
that he's hiding some incriminating data and information and documents from his own Inspector General?
Well, again, it's sometimes what you ask for. I've asked questions of witnesses, and actually I've had the media ask other questions, and when you put them together, you get totally different responses from some of these agencies. But again, if the Inspector General and Congress have not yet seen some of the documents pertaining to this situation, then questions remain. And that's
it's
all
not a
we've
fair
asked
investigation then. Here's what I mean, this jumped out at me from the Inspector General's report. We put it up on the screen. Quote, "We struggled to understand how an operation of this size and importance with a potential impact on the country could not have been briefed up to the Attorney General." If Eric Holder was oblivious to something so vital, Congressman, does that suggest to you that in terms of managing his very important Department of Justice, he is incompetent?
Well, again, it raises questions, and that's all we think we have the responsibility to do, is get those questions answered. Again, you had a U.S.
You think
agent
he's a good
killed.
Attorney General?
You had several hundred others killed in Mexico. You had them spend $1 million of taxpayer money buying several thousand weapons, of which only 100 were recovered. All this going on, and this investigation from the Inspector General was from the bottom going up. They found 14 people to say throw under the bus, but the bus driver, as one of my colleagues said, who's driving the bus, is let off the hook, and that's just not fair.
Well, but look, there are 125,000 employees in the Department of Justice, so I mean, you can't be held responsible for everybody. But look, the parents of Brian Terry say, we're not buying it. If Holder's top lieutenants knew, those closest to him, then the Terrys think that Holder must have known, and they think this whole Inspector General report is nothing more than a cover-up of Holder's complicity. Do you share that suspicion?
Well, I do share that suspicion because everything leads to the Attorney General's office, the higher-ups who have managed to worm their way out of any responsibility in this. This is the highest judicial office in the United States as far as enforcement. And you have also the head of the criminal division, too, who's let off the hook in this. The Assistant Attorney General still going to be in office, who is responsible. Someone has to be responsible and accountable. And I think that's all we're asking for. Again, when a U.S. agent is killed and this kind of money, waste of taxpayer money takes place.
Well, the president says his predecessor is responsible. And in fact, on Thursday, President Obama told the Univision audience, I'm sure you saw this, that, and I'll quote him here, quote, "Fast and Furious was a field-initiated program begun under the previous administration." Congressman, that is utterly untrue, is it not?
Well, I think that's shameful for the president to say that. Yes, there was a Fast and Furious program before, but it was properly operated. They did track the weapons, and you didn't have people killed or weapons gone astray like this. So that's totally irresponsible by the president.
2 years before Fast and Furious began.
Yes, and it was a successful program.
Right.
I happen to have once chaired the Criminal Justice Drug Policy Subcommittee in Congress, and we've done these kinds of programs before under different administrations, maybe not named Fast and Furious. But for the president to go back and blame Bush, that's over the top. Congressman
John Mica, thank you very much. If you get any of those documents, let us know about it. Thanks very much.
Well, we want to just get to the bottom of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.